What's going on, guys? I want to tell you a little story. All right, a little funny story. It's funny looking back at it. It wasn't funny then, but it's about last week. Hopefully, it can encourage someone. All right. So, Saturday was my competition, and by the way, it's not an excuse story. All right, it's just a story I want to share. There's no excuses. I assume all the responsibility for everything. So, my flight was on Thursday. The competition was on Saturday. Flight was on Thursday, 11 a.m. So the goal is that I had everything planned, all my meals, everything. I fly in on Thursday morning because I know there's gonna be a bit of water retention. Get rid of it and then just relax and chill. All right. So I get to the airport to get the 11 a.m. plane, but then I realized that I can't get on the 11 a.m. plane because my ticket was on standby and I was supposed to get that plane, but then they kept pushing me away into another plane, into another plane, into another plane, and I was waiting for hours. I finally was able to take the 5 p.m. plane, but this is after hours and I'm like stressing and I'm barely able to eat. I'm eating bagels and jam just to keep my calories high and kind of carb up because that was the supposed plan. What happened is that there's two airports in Toronto and they sent my luggage that I checked in with all the meals to the wrong airport, all right? I don't know how they did this mistake, but that's what happened. Then I arrived to I land, I can't see my luggage, and I start stressing. Then I realize it's in the other airport, which is 1 hour away. I take a 30-minute train, 30-minute bus, get there. Finally, I see my luggage. I'm like screaming of joy because I'm starving. I see my luggage. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna eat. I open my luggage and I see all my Tupperwares. They have big holes in them. They kind of exploded. I had like eight meals. There was just one left, all right? So the tuna was everywhere, rice, everything was so watery. It smelled bad, and I'm like, oh my God. And I had my posing trunks in there that I'm trying to clean and wash, and nightmare, all right? So I had one meal left. I eat it super fast in the airport. Trust me, I'm like on the floor, sitting on the floor, just eating because I was just dehydrated and a bit hungry. Then I gotta be to the athlete meeting at like 8 to the weigh-ins and stuff. I take an Uber, which is an hour 30 away, and I'm like, oh my God, it's just like $150 just to get there. I get there finally. I do the check-ins and all those stuff. This goes well, but I was like stressing all day. Then I'm like, I take off my shirt when I get to the Airbnb. Another funny story is that I put the wrong address to get to my Airbnb. So the Uber gave me the wrong address. So then I had to take another Uber. It was crazy, all right? Even in the Airbnb, basically in the rooms. So I took a room in a big house with a lot of people, and every room has a code. All right, so I get into my room, I put my phone inside, and then I close the door to go to the washroom, and then my room is locked. And this is like 11 p.m. and my my phone is inside, and I was like stressing out. But it's okay. I mean, that's not the end of the world. So I look at my. Trust me, this day was a nightmare. But I'm alive, I'm healthy, so that's good. I look at my body and I'm like, my God, why am I retaining so much water? Trust me, guys, I was so fluffy, so puffy. I couldn't recognize myself. It's like if I looked at my body and I looked as if I was before prep. A gut, all right? And it was all the water retention and stress. But then I realized that I get so watery from plane. My toes were like sausages, super thick. All right, I was looking at my feet. I'm like, what's happening? 45-minute flight. That's it, Montreal to Toronto. But it's all the stress. Yeah. So next day I had no meals, so I gotta go walk to the place and start cooking in my Airbnb. And this is like the day that I should be just chilling and relaxing. I walked like for almost an hour carrying the bags, and like I gotta cook and everything. And then like I had a little bit of a fight with the other guys at the Airbnb because it was a family that didn't want me to be in the kitchen when they were there, and I had to cook my meals. So anyways, long story short, yeah, I made it on stage. I mean, finally, but all that time, and we had to carb up, and carbing up with a lot of water, uh, it's not good when you're already retaining water, and that's maybe something that we could have done differently, because I was retaining a lot of water and I started carbing up, and I still felt flat, but my body was retaining more and more water. I was so watery. I couldn't understand it. I didn't it didn't click that the plane really messed me up and all the stress. But I really believe it's the plane. But I'm not saying that I would have won. Far from there. Far from there. Like, I wouldn't have even been top five even at my best. But what saddens me is that I couldn't show the package, let's say the body that I really wanted to present and to work on, that I worked on. Yeah, the physique that I really worked on. I couldn't really show the definition that I really had, that I was seeing every morning here in my house. I couldn't show it on stage. Like, I had the trunk, and they called my number to do the posing, and I'm like looking down, and I was like, God, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. I was like, just take me away from here. If only I can disappear now, I would do it. Because I wasn't proud of the body that I had. I was so watery, so fluffy, so watery. Yeah, it felt so bad, you know. And my coach is like, he's nice, motivating me. Hey, you gotta have fun and this and that. And I felt bad for him because I had a bad attitude. I wasn't even laughing. I was just so angry because I'm like, I've worked 6 months. I mean, doesn't matter what, everybody worked hard, but I screwed it up trying to do my best. It's weird. There's something when you screw up something when you don't care, but when you try to do everything right and you still screw it up, this is where it's frustrating. But yeah, so that happened. And one thing that I'm proud of myself is that I still showed up on stage. It would have been easy for me to be like, you know what, I don't want to do it. I don't want to go on stage, but I still looked down and I saw my gut sticking out because of all the water retention. And I'm like, you know what, I'll still go on stage and I'll still do it and I'll still push. And just doing this, showing up, going on stage, and yeah, showing up even when you know that you're not at your best, I think it gives you a greater confidence in the long term than just showing up when you're at your best. Because now that I look back at it, I'm like, whoa, I was this close to be like, screw it, I'm done. Because I really was not happy of the results that I had, the body that I had. But I made it, and even my friend Yusuf, who good guy, he was telling me, bro, you're watery, you look so watery, and it stayed in my head, and I'm like, my God, I don't look good, and I still went on stage, and I mean, did my best to kind of pose. And it is what it is. But now that I look back at it, I'm like, if I was able to do this in front of, I don't know, hundreds of people, it's like if it gave me a confidence that nobody can take away from me. Really, nobody can take away from me, because I was able to do that on, let's say, my worst day, after a lot of things messing up, screwing up. It's like if every single thing went against me, and I still was able to step on the stage and do my posing routine and do all that. So I can only imagine once the stars will align and things will look better, or I will not have to travel for my next competition, or I will have a better time financially where I could, let's say, afford different services and stuff. It would be a better experience. All right, so just saying, first experience, I mean, the people that win first time, it's never been me. I've always been the guy that don't win the first time, go back, do my homework, and work on it, and work in the dark, and come back and shock people, let's say. Not just about fitness, I'm talking about in my cooking, let's say, career, everything, you know. So that's it. Hopefully if you're going through like a competition or whatever, just finish it, even if you're, whatever it is, you're injured, you feel bad, I don't know, you're sick, just go and do it. And you'll look back and you'll be proud that you did it. So that's it. Ciao.